Welcome to the Summerland Research Station, Gary.
Gary, it's great to be here. It's a typical Okanagan summer day. In Summerland, it's beautiful. Listen, tell me a little bit about the history of the Summerland Agricultural Research Center that's behind us and the role that you play here.
Well, this new building was put up about 3 years ago as a replacement for a whole collection of buildings around the station that had evolved over, well, since the turn of the century.
Right.
Some of them were never designed to be permanent structures, I don't think, but they sort of evolved into that until we tore them down.
They were starting to fall down.
That's right. Anyway, the station itself is one of a series across the country that always supports the agriculture of the area in which it's located. Mm-hmm. And so this station does research on tree fruits and grapes. And my own particular program, I work with the growers and the wineries, testing new grape varieties that we've bred at the station or brought in from other parts of the world, working on processes and fermentation techniques with the wineries, helping them to do projects and occasionally doing a little troubleshooting, things like that.
Right, right. So you're the center's enologist, and you've made this wine here. What have you poured us here?
Yes, this is a Pinot Blanc. It's a Northern European variety that seems to be really well adapted to the Okanagan. Mm-hmm. It's winter hardy, and it makes, I think, a really nice wine.
Well, let's try it.
Sure.
Cheers. Oh, that's really nice.
Good body, a little bit of a vegetal flavor on it.
What area of the world does this varietal originate from?
Well, I guess it is mostly identified with France, but it's actually spread all over the world. They have a lot of different names for it. You know, the Germans call it Weissburgunder, and the Italians call it Pinot Bianco. And so it's everywhere. And
Gary, I'm curious to get your views on how you see the Okanagan Valley as a wine-producing region and how it compares to other regions in the world, and what varietals do well here.
Well, as a short season area, we do best with the varieties which normally are grown in Northern Europe. You know, unless of course you're breeding something else into the clones or the varieties or things like that. So the wines from areas such as Alsace or the Rhine region or something like that are generally the ones that do well. We have a unique situation in that we're the world's northernmost desert viticultural region. I know that's a mouthful, but it really means something, because what happens is that we can develop, because of our intense sunshine and our heat and long day length, we can develop a very rich, full maturity. But because it's a desert, it cools off at night here, and the acidity isn't metabolized the way it is in areas that have higher humidity. And so we end up with this nice fruity acidity that gives our wines a backbone. And this is especially true in making sparkling wines, where the acidity has to be a part of it, or the wine just comes across as being nondescript.
This is truly a great area to grow such wines, as you were saying, to grow varietals that are used in a really good sparkling wine made in the champagne method.
That's true.
Because of that acidity that you need. And I think in the future, do you agree that we're going to see some really fine sparkling wines made in this method?
Oh, no question. We've done a bit of work here at the station on it, and we see quite a sparkling future on that.
Listen, what's the best way, do you think, for our viewers who are watching to really appreciate the wine of British Columbia?
Well, of course, you have to come to the Okanagan and experience the enthusiasm. You know, come up and visit the wineries, big ones, little ones. You can actually talk to the guy that made the wine, and he'll tell you how wonderful they are, and give you all his trials and tribulations.
The people here really are wonderful, and they're friendly. It's and what do you think about you could spend 1 or 2 or 3 days easily just going to the wineries themselves?
Oh, no question. Certainly at least a day each for the North and South Okanagan.
Fantastic. Well, listen, we got to go now, so thanks for having us here, Gary. It's great to be here in Summerland again. I love this place. Wow. And we'll see you back in Vancouver.